Hi, my name is Caitlin Sayeg, and I'm an assistant professor of clinical pediatrics at USC Keck School of Medicine and a clinical psychologist providing care to patients at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. I'm applying to the Standard Pilot Grant to solve a problem. Across many chronic health conditions, as many as half of teens do not take their medication as prescribed. And this can result in worse health and quality of life, and in some cases, increase the risk of mortality. We are applying because we have a solution. Cell phone support is a program where a coach calls or texts youth several times a week to remind them to take their medication, help them problem solve barriers, and connect them to resources that could help. And through our prior research, we have found that cell phone support can help youth take medication who are living with sickle cell disease, HIV, solid organ transplants, or type 2 diabetes. However, we've seen barriers crop up in our intervention research so far. First, some of those very same youth who struggle to take their medications tell us they find the idea of cell phone support off-putting, and as many as half have declined to participate in the study to begin with. So we need to make this intervention more appealing. Also, cell phone support works through connecting youth with human coaches, which makes this a more costly intervention to scale up. We need to find a way to deliver some elements of computer-delivered support so that we offer that human support only when and if it is needed. Our proposal would be to partner with youth as part of a youth advisory board to create a new version of cell phone support, this time called adaptive cell phone support. This intervention would provide a support system to all youth who are taking medication, delivering through a computer support like reminders, problem-solving help, and linkage with other resources like we have before, but including that coaching element only when and for whom it is necessary. We are proposing to use methods that go beyond the traditional route. Historically, people like me conducting research have created interventions that then take a very long time to actually get in the hands of real-world patients. And 17 years is the average for how long that process has taken. That is too long. If we think about mobile health technology, which is supporting teens with their cell phones to take care of their health, cell phones change a lot. 17 years ago was the first year that the iPhone was released. And if we think about creating an intervention today that might not get into the hands of youth until 17 years from now, we can't even imagine what technology will be relevant for youth at that time. So human-centered design offers a different process, a more nimble, iterative process where you get feedback constantly throughout the phases of creating an intervention, trialing that intervention, and sustaining that intervention in the real world. The proposal we've submitted to the Standard Pilot Grant Program is zooming in on that create phase of the process. We would like to work to use mixed methods, which means we'd be asking open-ended questions, video recording youth trying out our intervention, and also quantitative measures, providing standardized surveys to understand how usable the intervention is, or whether they find that it does help them to improve taking their medication on a regular basis. And through multiple phases, a first cohort, a second cohort, a third cohort, we would learn over time how to improve adaptive support so that it is ready for prime time in a larger trial funded by the federal government. Our proposal in detail is to work with that 12-person advisory board to adapt portions of the intervention to be computer delivered, then to invite 45 CHLA patients to try out the intervention for 3 weeks and give feedback on how to improve it, and then to use that data to strengthen an application to NICHD, a federal agency which funds research to promote youth health and development. That proposal would allow us to trial and sustain adaptive cell phone support using rigorous research methods. And who are we? I will be joined by my prior mentors, Dr. Belzer and Dr. McDonald, who have guided me through a 3-year study to understand how cell phone support could serve youth. And I will be joining with brand new mentors for me, Dr. West and Dr. Wu, who will help me learn to create adaptive interventions, to test adaptive interventions, and to take account human factors when we are creating interventions. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and I look forward to having you look at this application in more detail.